Good afternoon. Welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey, and thank you for tuning in. As promised, I am going to do a Tarot of Sexual Magic daily pick a card spread. The reaction to the initial one I did was so good that I thought I would make it a daily because you guys responded really well to it, and I really appreciate that. So that's what we're going to be doing today, and this is going to be a general read, 4-card spread for, we'll start this out for Wednesday, August 29th. And I have a lapis for number 1, an Babylonian Om symbol for number 2, a turquoise heart for number 3, and a pyrite stone for number 4. So if you want to have a quick look at those and make your choice, I will begin in a second. Yeah, you guys just had the most lovely responses to this, and it's such a fun deck, and the rich artwork is so nice. I mean, it just is the beauty, and it just transports you, and it's always nice to remember some of those things that we can take for granted in our mates and boyfriends and girlfriends and significant others, you know, and people just want to be paid attention to, respected, cherished, and, you know, feel like you're happy they came in the room, you know what I mean, or through that door, and like you smile and you're grateful to see them. There's nothing more warmth giving than that, right? Okay, so we'll start over here. So the first card, oh, that's beautiful. That is the 3 of Pentacles. Oh, look, they're in a kitchen, and there's a heart pentacle on the floor, and all the brass old pots. Remember in the kitchens and the olden days where everything would hang from the roof? I love that. Cast iron, brass, all those things. It just made you know you were in your kitchen. That was sort of that was the center of the family, and everybody would get around there, and you spent a lot of time in there. So this whole card is about warmth, the magic of the earthenware pot, which is right there, you know, and everybody's symbolic of, you know, nurturing and feeding the family and caring for them. So this one is, in order to become meaningful, a relationship must be able to offer warmth and protection. You must give in order to be able to receive. You know, to show affection is to receive affection. Like I said earlier, to be happy and show happiness that that spouse and significant other came through the door and that you are happy to see them. I mean, everybody wants to feel wanted. So that's just a brief reminder that, hey, you know, show them a little love. And then the next one, this is the 5 of Chalices. I had this in the reading the other day. I love the artwork in this with the chalice down there, and he's holding her up flowers, and they're by a fountain, and somebody put a fire right in the middle of the fountain, and it's still burning. That's lovely. Okay, so 5 of Chalices. So if I remember correctly, this is just doing away with guilt. You know, this is the magic of the glowing ember. That's that, you know, that thing is floating on top of the water, yet it is still burning, you know, it's still going. So this is the weight of the past, and its consequences are always remembered, but they must be left behind to break overly oppressive attachments. You must open yourself to adventure and freedom. So like most relationships that people have endured and lived through, we get those attachments, and sometimes mentally it's hard to let go, but it's unfair to our new person that we're involved in to perhaps hear the other person's name, activities you've done together, and whatever. You have to let it go and really cherish the present and make that person feel like they're the only one on earth when you're with them, especially in a romantic way. You know, nobody wants to ever feel like they're suffering by comparison. You know, and also people feel guilty sometimes how they treated people in other existing relationships before that, because it can be, when people break up, people aren't always nice about it. But to just release all that so your focus can be on the current day. So if you chose that, that's what the cards are saying. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, and then the next one, the Babylonian Om. This one is the 6 of Chalices. Oh, so she's looking at some artwork, and she's got scrolls of artwork and dove by her feet. Look at the beautiful leaves, and then she's got the lovely lily pond in the background. Oh, that's pretty. So the 6 of Chalices speaks of memories, you know, the magic of the parchment. And in this current day, the magic of photographs, that compel us to look back and see through those eyes of the past, of people that we had relationships with and shared special times with. You know how looking at a certain photograph makes you feel, especially if it was a romantic relationship, just walking down memory lane. So this was saying in the book, a portrait reminds us of those who were only distant memories now. It may revive a desire for an ex and destroy blocks of the past. So, sometimes, when you look back at photographs too, it can be through rose-colored glasses, especially if you're doing something super fun, like you're at the beach, you're on vacation, you're doing something that's, warm and fuzzy by a fireplace, at a ski resort, any of those things. But there is also a reason why people separate, if they didn't, everybody who met their first amore would still be with them. People, you have to try on the personalities together, and also your goals and all those things have to match. But sometimes it's very nice to get a little nostalgic and look back, because then you can look inside yourself to see, were those rational responses? Are you still holding on to those current day behaviors? Are they healthy for you? Are you showing your current person that you're in a relationship with that you believe it's on a solid foundation and that you cherish them and things like that? And because nobody likes to walk into a room where somebody's looking at photographs of somebody you used to date on your phone, I'm sure of that. So also, that's a private luxury of just looking back in memories, because you don't ever want to make anyone feel bad. But it is nice sometimes to look back and reflect and have those memories, right? And this is the 4 of chalices. Look at that. So they've got scissors and magnet. I always, when I see this, like magnetism, cutting ties of the past, and then it looks like they have a coin down there on the table as well. Sometimes relationships can cost people dearly. You see it all the time on Facebook when people are going through difficulties and stuff, and they have to have that little rant about their exes and stuff, especially if there's money involved or interchanged or things just didn't go well. How that is, because sometimes things aren't just clean cut and stuff, especially if there's family involved and everything. So this in the book was about habits, the magic of the scissors, of the magnet and the coin. Immobility, habit, and indifference caused by routine must be fought. Absolutely. I mean, it's very easy to get in that groove, that daily grind of, first we wake up, we shower, do this and that, we both go to work, we say goodbye, someone walks in the door, oh, hello, let's eat dinner. And you almost go through the motions in a robotic fashion. I mean, you can lose your spontaneity and joy and just the giddiness of being together. And just recently I started to reinforce our date nights and going out and things, because sometimes you just need to be away from the places that cause your routines, like places of business and your home. You go out to fresh restaurants, fresh environments, different walks in different places, and outside. I find that's where I'm the most spontaneous and fun and crazy, carefree, and happy, is outside, especially in the woods. So yeah, break those routines, because nothing kills passion faster than doing the same thing over and over again. What you eat, how you eat, where you are, even love making the same way, all those things. I mean, variety is the spice of life. So absolutely change things up and do things differently, and go to different places to eat. Go walk somewhere you've never walked. It's that same adage of exercising your brain and, building those dendrites and those bridges in there by doing things differently, taking different ways to work, doing this and that. Yeah, you need stimulation in your life, or you do become like a robot. So yeah, be adventurous. That's lovely. Okay, so if you chose that is your message. And if you chose the blue turquoise heart, we have the 8 of Wands. Oh, that looks so romantic. Fruit. And then look, there's a ladder going like way up to the sky. It's like Jack and the Beanstalk. This might even be about this, because I haven't had this card or read about it yet. So we'll see. They have the 2 birds down there drinking out of a little bowl of water and milk and fruit. So 8 of Wands, and wands being action and motion. Let's see what that's all about. That's pretty cool. Okay, so the Eight of Wands is about savoring. Yes, absolutely. And we had this in the other, we had the subject matter come up in the other night's read about. That's absolutely what life is about, and especially romance and being together is savoring. You know, you don't wolf down your food because then your palate doesn't have a chance to get the sensations and the flavors and stuff. Just, you know, the walk of romance too. It shouldn't be a sprint, you know, it's ritualistic and it's wonderful, and you should pay attention to details and the small things like nice perfumes or aftershave or body oils, things like that. So it's saying the magic of the swallows. So those were the two birds down at the bottom right there. Yeah, everything has a little thing in it about the magic of everything. And this is about pleasure in and of itself is like the essence of springtime. Savoring eroticism as a pastime allows you some breathing room. And it really does, because you're realizing how they respond to certain things and vice versa, because you're being observant, and that's very important in any kind of relationship. You're observing the details of what they find enticing, desirable, and what they like. You know, what if somebody was always just like, I don't know, what, for instance, just say somebody was constantly rubbing your feet because they thought it was lovely and romantic, and you absolutely hated that. You hated your feet being touched. I mean, again, education and communication, you have to discuss these things because people do have body parts that are very ticklish or whatever that are annoying. So by savoring and taking your time, you can communicate these things to each other. Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, and people are very fortunate. What is she getting up to here? We'll find out in a minute. Looks like she's crying. 10 of Swords. Oh, she's got a big sword and she spilled her cup and there's flowers everywhere. Oh, I see. Somebody's outside the window getting up to things. So we'll find out what the advice is on this one, because I have yet to have had that one. But you know, that many swords, and usually in regular tarot, that's not a great thing. So this is called squeezing, the magic of tears. Even pain can be transformed into power. You mustn't flee from emotions, but rather use them to find the true essence of our desires. And that makes a lot of sense. You know, you have to pay attention to your emotions and what they are trying to tell you, you know. Pain, definitely. If we learn from our mistakes, we learn from others' mistakes, from what's around us in our environment, and you know, it can be a potent education for us, for sure. You know, you completely find out, is that what I really wanted in the first place? Is that person what I really want in the first place? If they're able to do something that's extremely hurtful, how could that be a sound and welcome presence in your life? You know, knowing what you truly want and also valuing yourself and knowing what you deserve. Would you go back if you saw that? You'd ask yourself the big questions, you know. You have to value yourself and find out answers, for sure. So if you chose that, that is your message. These cards really are beautiful. And then Pyrite, if you chose that, that's a fresh looking card. 6 of Wands, who's like, I like your hiney, it's nice and shiny. If you don't hide it, I'm gonna bite it. Remember that song from like when you were in friggin' 8th grade or whatever? That's hilarious. And it's so funny now what's become acceptable in public in terms of people touching what, you know what I mean? Like, I see all the time at places too, just people whacking each other on the rear end, and it's a very strange thing in certain environments to see that. I mean, I really pay attention to small details and stuff, and I see that fine line between, oh, that's so cute or whatever, and what it idles slowly into perv territory, for sure. So let's see, the 6 of Wands, the message with that is touching, the magic of the hare and the dove. Growing closer, growing apart, diluting, confirming. Every game of pleasure must end in doubts, and they must be dispelled. So yeah, that makes, you know, when people are in relationships, see, there's the hare and the dove down the bottom. It's so cute. That's lovely. So yeah, people, there is no other arena in life that doubts fall into it or rain down on it more heavily than in intimacy and relationships, because people second guess so easily everybody's motives, you know. Just wear those motives lightly and And don't try to second guess everything you're doing, they're doing. Do they want this person? Do they like this? Do they like that? You can make yourself crazy, and nothing takes the oxygen out of a relationship and playfulness more than trying to guess everyone's motives and trying to almost, I just call it sucking the joy and oxygen out of it, because overthinking is not healthy in anything, because you can go pro con all day long, but what are you accomplishing? Nothing really. Just experience it. Just be there, be present, experience it. Your body and mind will let you know, and you follow those clues, it will absolutely 100% let you know. You know what I mean? A lot of people are fooled by romance and a pretty picture of a person, or what they see, especially if they only see the one dimension of it. They only see them in a professional sphere, where it's like, oh, this person's, they know what they're about, they're so together, they're a solid human being. You could go to their house and they could literally live in an outhouse under Detroit. You have no idea. People's personal tastes are not a reflection of what they are professionally, and vice versa, all those things. So there is a whole 3-dimension to someone. So, wait for that. That's such a cute picture with the dove and the thing too. And this is the Queen of Pentacles. That's always nice to have a handsome man rubbing your feet. That's funny, we're just talking about that. Look at that. So she's got her little heart pentacle on her thing, dressed in her purple robe, because she's the queen. So the Queen of Pentacles, let's see what that's all about. Yeah, I'm always familiar. I'm always curious to find out how closely these resonate with regular tarot messages as well, because they do. Wands being action and movement, and swords being ideas and things like that. They do go close, but I love the little booklet that comes with that and gives the little, hints and choice things that are very helpful. It's just little things. It's like little reminders every day. So this queen is about coolness, the magic of the bay leaves, which is right back there. It says, you must fight coolness and convince your partner to be generous both sentimentally and materially. This will bring serenity, safety, and sincerity to the couple. Yeah, and what this conveys 100% to me is, just utter generosity of their time, of who they are, of, this has been something that's irked me since I've been a young kid. I do not like stinginess or cheapness on any level. Like, if I have $20 left and I'm going to see somebody, that $20 is going to a nice bouquet of flowers to say, thank you for inviting me to your house. I am happy to see you. You know what I mean? Just being giving. That's one of the reasons I feel like I've always been very abundant and had more than enough, because I'm like, there'll always be more. I'm not going to starve. I'm not going to lose my house or my cars or anything because I'm getting somebody a bouquet of flowers. That's why I cannot deal when people are so, like, if they go out to a restaurant with somebody and they'll say stuff like right away, separate checks. That's stinginess, especially if you're trying to romantically woo someone or whatever. That is one of the biggest turnoffs, if gentlemen are watching this, and women, in the history of coupledom, is when somebody is tight-fisted. It usually, if they're stingy in that manner, they can be quite stingy in other things. They can be stingy in their own pleasure. They can be stingy in their own time. They can be stingy in their affection. So yeah, generousness and graciousness, that goes a long, long way. So this was lovely. All these little hints about, touching and savoring everything and not being cool and distant. Sometimes people are taught, oh yeah, play it cool. That doesn't work, especially if you're engaged in some kind of romantic thing with somebody. Then they just feel neglected, or they feel like something's wrong with them, So those are the messages for today. Those were excellent. So this will be for Wednesday the 29th. So, just little reminders. Oh, that's beautiful. For whatever you chose, it's really good. These little hints and things are beautiful, And I have to remind myself every day too. I mean, even when I study and I'm watching things, I am constantly like, remember when your spouse walks in the door that you are happy to see them, because you are. And sometimes my behavior doesn't reflect that, especially if I'm engaged with, I'm doing jewelry and I'm in a really finite area of stuff. It's like, just stop for that 1 second. That's all they need. Honest to goodness. I mean, what else is more important than love and affection and being sweet to one another? Okay, so I want to thank you for tuning in. I wrapped this up nicely to exactly 20 minutes, so there should be, equal time to all of those. So I hope this resonated with you. And there are just happy little clues, to be spontaneous and just be out there. And I love, my favorite thing that I took the most from this today and reading the book as well is routine. Just drop routine. Nobody needs to be in that friggin' hamster wheel going round and round and round. We all need variety. We're all beings that are ascending more and more and learning more about ourselves and our mates and our families every day. And variety is the spice of life, and we need to have it in our lives to be happy and joyful and have new things to look forward to, right? If we had to eat the same food every day and only use a certain amount of words every day and just things like that, watch the same shows, we would be bored as hell. So yeah, learning is great. Communication and education for sure. Okay, so thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I want to thank you very much for doing that. That's making my days when I look at some of the stats, that things is really gaining traction and that you guys like these videos. I'm very pleased, and I want to say thank you for your viewership. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Peace out.